We've got the third part in a 3-part series for how CPAs, fractional CFOs, accounting firm owners can drive 10 to 15 clients per month from LinkedIn. It's such a gold mine right now. So if you didn't watch the first 2 videos, go and give them a watch. They're like 9 minutes long. You need to learn how to find thousands of qualified leads on LinkedIn, and then you need to learn how to automate LinkedIn connection requests at scale. And so you're not doing all that manually. Very short videos, and then this video will be a lot more useful because you'll have a lot more ammunition. Okay, by the way, who am I? I run Founder Brands in a content agency helping a lot of different industries drive leads from X and LinkedIn, but our top niche is CPAs, fractional CFOs, and accounting firms. We get so many clients, so many book sales calls from X and LinkedIn for your niche. So I'm going to show you exactly how we do it. So let's dive right in. Tactic number 1, the first DM is absolutely crucial. If you don't get a response, there is no conversation. So something on LinkedIn that is a problem right now is AI, right? Everyone's like, okay, they have their AI detector going every single time they look at their LinkedIn DMs. It's a slop fest. So how do we cut through that noise? First, we send 2 to 6 messages, right? We do thread messaging. We don't just send one message because that is what a robot does. Humans type like this. AI does not type like this. And we also want to touch on something personal and business in this message. So it does take some manual work to do, but here are some examples. Hey, Michael, randomly saw you were following. When did you start Upstack? Looks cool. One of my partners is actually based in Boca Raton. Really need to get down and visit soon. Great opener, right? So 3 messages, that gets past the AI detection that people have in their brains. And then we also talk business. When did you start Upstack? And then we said, hey, let's talk about something personal. One of my partners is down in Boca Raton. Need to get down and visit soon. People will respond to this, and I will show you a lot of examples where we're having great conversations with openers like this. Let's get into this one. Hey, Ben, glad to connect. The work you guys are doing at BGC looks awesome. I'm in roofing myself, so I always have to salute great projects from others in the trades. Cute dog, right? Cute dog. That's personal. This is a pretty good opening message. Again, it's one message. It should be probably 2 to 6, like we're recommending. But this gets responses as well. Here's another one. Hey, Wyatt, saw you followed. How's Evolve doing? I see you started 2 years ago. Never been to Oklahoma before. Are there many tornadoes as the movies make it seem? Right? Greeting, business, personal. Gets a great response. Hey, Brad, you are a go-getter. I appreciate the hustle. We do have tornadoes in the spring, although I've never had property damage by one. I did have to shelter in the bathroom a few times, though. I'm currently in talks to sell a majority of my business to a partner and then work full-time for them. If it goes through, I won't need accounting since it'll be handled by the parent business. But do you have experience in small business sales acquisitions? See, great response, right? It might not be the best time, but it also might be. But look at this response here. We don't just respond to the business topic right away, right? We continue the personal topic because that continues the conversation. Glad the tornadoes haven't found you yet. Nice move selling a majority stake. Congrats. Yes, I have practical experience on the financial side of business transactions. I consulted for a company, right? So continue that conversation. This first sentence is crucial. Glad the tornadoes haven't found you yet. We're not just being like, oh yeah, I was just saying that so I could get you to respond. We're actually having a personal conversation here, and we're having a business conversation here simultaneously. That is how you keep the conversation going. The personal topic conversation will end quickly, then business continues. So this personal topic is not going to continue forever, but the business conversation will continue. All right, tactic 2, the restrained compliment. What does this do? This raises your authority, but you need to be sure not to be overzealous. Your enthusiasm should be at a 4 to 6 out of 10. So here's a bad example. I absolutely love the work you did with those Google ads. It's a 9 out of 10. It's far too overzealous. We have a capital love here. It seems needy. It seems like your authority is way lower, and you need your authority to be way up here. Here's pretty good. Solid case study with your Google Ads client. 3.2 ROAS is pretty good for e-com Google Ads, right? That's a 4 to 5 out of 10, I would say. Pretty good. 3.2 ROAS is pretty good. It shows that you know what is relevant in their niche, and also it's not like, oh my gosh, you're doing amazing, right? 4 to 6 out of 10. Here's some examples in real time. Hey Hunter, been following the striping and sealing journey. 50K months in year one is no joke. Do you know what each job is actually netting after paint, labor, and equipment costs? I think this opener is just okay. I don't think it's amazing. I think 50K months in year one is no joke is a 7 out of 10. I think it might be a little bit too high. I think if you say it's pretty good or that's pretty decent, that would be like a 4 to 6 out of 10. But anyway, got a response. Hey, Brad, just saw this. We should probably talk sometime soon. I'll admit my knowledge of my numbers aren't where they should be. No worries. Messages get lost in the requests a lot. Let's get some clarity for you then. Being at 600K annual revenue, it's important for sure. I have some time Monday and Tuesday, June 1st and 2nd, and drop the link. We're seasonal. We don't hit 50K every month. I'm hoping we'll do 300K this year, right? So this is very good. This is a very good conversation here. We're not just dropping a Calendly link and saying, hey, book through my link. Some people think that is selfish, I guess, for lack of a better word. They don't want to do the extra work to have to book using your link. So always drop some availability you have first and just be like, if it's easier, feel free to book using my link. And we're raising authority here again. Let's get some clarity for you then. Being at 600K in revenue, it's important for sure. So this is like, yeah, I have clients who are at your level, and it's important that they do this when they're at your level, even though he's lower at 300K. All right, let's keep moving forward. Middle of a conversation screenshot here, probably 250K annualized. Not bad for a business you're still figuring out pricing on. Demo work at 250K usually means you're doing real volume, but the margins are the place depending on the job. Are you running it as an LLC or still sole prop? Again, this is great. We are at a 4 to 6 out of 10. We are increasing our level of authority, right? Not bad for a business you're still figuring out pricing on, right? So this is another good example. Tactic 3, let's start prying pain points. Weave in questions about your prospect's business. Pry their pain points while positioning yourself as the authority. Uncover their pain point and position yourself as the person that can help. That is actually the same thing I just said. Let's delete that. Okay, other tips. Find a small pain point and bust it wide open, right? So we're really just searching. We're planting seeds. We're throwing rope for them to grab onto and just planting a small pain point. And once we see it, bust it wide open. Don't make the conversation robotic with a constant Q&A. Respond to the personal topic first, then the business topic, like I shared earlier, and always try to drop social proof seamlessly. So here are some examples of prying pain points. Saw your post on estimating. Demo work especially can swing margins fast. Are you consistently reviewing estimate versus actual after each job yet? Sorry, Brad, just saw this. I'm still tinkering with the pricing and costs. Far too upstream to be at the quote versus actual phase yet, right? So that is a pain point, and then we can come in and solve that, right? An accounting firm owner, a CPA, fractional CFO can assist with this. All right, Jim. Zach is us. Jim is the prospect. We work with a few trusted, decent contractors on island that have a lot of home builds and remodels to complete, so very steady and lucrative. Steady and lucrative is a great position. With that kind of reputation on the island, have you guys thought about scaling beyond the contractor referral pipeline? Usually a lot of untapped demand from homeowners searching directly for plumbers in markets like yours. Google and marketing has been huge past disasters for us of ripoffs and promises ending in lawsuits and headaches every attempt for 30 years plus. Okay, so Zach in this example is us. He's trying to find pain points. Do you want to scale your business past people just remembering to send business your way? That is a referral pipeline. You're just guessing. You have no control over your pipeline. So there is an interesting pain point here, but he's had bad experience, so we need to take that and basically objection handle in the DMs. All right, sales assets, tactic number 4. These are great. A sales asset is basically a PDF, Notion page, SOP template, video training, Gamma doc like this, lead magnets, etc. that adds value. You're just trying to provide value to people. But we're not actually sending this for them to consume the assets, because 90% are not going to consume the asset. But we're just going to convey to them that you are someone who's just trying to help. You have the friendly helper mindset. It's also a great way to start or restart a conversation, especially. All right, this is from me. Thanks, Colin. Yeah, I'm always down to connect, and if you got any tips, I would love to hear them. This is mid-conversation. It'll help me if I know more. Is it just you, or do you have a team behind you? What is your annual revenue, and what does your ideal client look like? By the way, saw you speak Italian. Are you from there? One of my clients is from Milan. This is the personal/business conversation again, right? Unfortunately, that was on Tuesday, and now it's Friday, and the conversation went cold. So I'm trying to restart this conversation. He said he's open to tips. So let's drop a sales asset. Also made the Twitter growth playbook if you want to drive leads from your personal brand. Tactics work for LinkedIn too. Might be valuable for you, right? Might be valuable for you. That's about a 4 out of 10. I'm not like, you have to read this. This is the best thing ever. It might be valuable for you. I don't know specifically based on your situation, but it might be. Again, dropping a sales asset, trying to restart this conversation with this prospect. Tactic 5, what do you mean phrase. This is an awesome tactic that I like to use occasionally as well. So a what do you mean phrase is basically a phrase or jargon that you invented that makes the prospect say, what is that? So let's hear an example here. Always great to be connected with another Dartmouth alum. Brilliantly wrong, focus on GTM, right? How is the pipeline density for your second year? Pipeline density. That is the what do you mean phrase. One of my clients is based in the DC area, been meaning to get down there for a visit, right? Personal business, what do you mean phrase. We're taking all these tactics and using them almost simultaneously. So he might not know what pipeline density is. That's not a very common term. So he might be like, what is that? And potentially ask. All right, here's another example. Happy to connect, Sam. I own a roofing business myself, so blank roofing has been on my radar. How's that Florida market looking heading into the hurricane season? Have you guys hit your referral ceiling? So referral ceiling, something that people don't often say. It's a what do you mean phrase. It's pretty easy it might be easy to tell just by reading it what it is, but it may catch the eye, and it might have someone ask, what is that? Tactic number 6. By the way, we only have, I think we have 8 tactics here. We've got about 8 tactics, so we're getting towards the end, but this is some really, really great stuff, especially tactic number, if you want to learn how to pitch the call, tactic number 8, that's you got to stick around for that one. Okay, tactic number 6, authority building observations. Build yourself up as hyper relevant and hyper valuable to the prospect. This is, if your authority is way down here and you're pretending or you're having a conversation where they're up here, you're never going to book a sales call. It's just not going to happen. So you need to have your authority has got to be way up here, which is why content's important, which is why your profile is important, but also your tonality and your conversation in the DMs. Okay. Here's an example. Sorry, Brad, just saw this. I'm still tinkering with pricing and costs, far too upstream to be at the quote versus actual phrase yet. So this is an example from before, but here's the next message. This won't let me zoom in. Okay. You can probably see it, but I'm going to read it anyway. No worries. Honestly, getting the pricing and cost structure right first is the best move. Right? Authorities up there. That's the best move. I've done this before. My clients, I've helped them with this. The estimate versus actual analysis only works if your numbers are solid to begin with. What's your annual revenue currently? So authority raising in the first 2 sentences and then qualifying the lead in the 3rd sentence. What's your annual revenue? If we have a client, or if you don't want to work with clients under $500,000 in revenue, and they share with you that they're at 150, it doesn't make sense to continue the conversation because they're not a qualified lead. All right, tactic number 7, social proof. Raise your level of authority by showing that you've already helped someone like them achieve their goals. Hey, Justin, thanks for the follow. Checked out Ridwell. Cool idea. Thought I'd reach out because I've actually talked to some other guys in Rolling Suds not too long ago. Thanks for connecting. Would love to learn how a fractional CFO works for a small biz. All right, so the social proof here is I've actually talked to some other guys in Rolling Suds not too long ago. That's okay. We have a track record there. We've got conversations. We've got relationships. That's great social proof. And again, where are you at in terms of annual revenue? We are qualifying this lead. Tactic number 8, the last tactic here. We need to pitch the call because we need to get this conversation into a sales call or else it's useless. So number 1, we have to identify that pain point and we need to frame a call around adding value. Here's some examples. Let's get some clarity for you then. Being at 600K annual revenue, it's important for sure. I have some time on Monday and Tuesday, June 1st and 2nd. Yeah, I shared this one earlier. This is a masterclass in how to pitch a call. This is great. Let's look at this one. Zach is our client. Jim is a prospect. Can't blame you one bit, Jim. That's the reality for a lot of contractors, and it's the reason most of them don't trust anyone in this space. I own a roofing business myself, so I've seen it from your side too. The way I see it, if a client can't walk away from an agency tomorrow with full access to everything, their site, their Google profile, their ad accounts, something is wrong. I'd love to hop on a call with you to hear more about what hasn't worked for you and what a transparent digital marketing setup actually looks like. Look at that. We didn't even have to pitch the call. It's all about adding value and sharing experience from past clients, past personal experiences, and get them on a call. Would love to hear some of those horror stories too. I'm sure you've got a few good ones. A few weeks out, probably several projects in different phases of work, groundwork for concrete, etc. I keep really busy 6 days a week and do LinkedIn on the off day. Right, so this is great stuff. Identify a pain point, frame a call around adding value, and then say, I have some availability, but don't just drop your Calendly link. People don't like that, talking from experience there. All right, quick summary here. The rules. Automate only the connection request, 2 to 6 short messages in the first DM, be personal first, and also move to business over time throughout the conversation, but make sure in your first 2 to 6 messages, you're sharing business and personal. Enthusiasm should be at a 4 to 6 out of 10. Find the pain point, add social proof seamlessly. Do not have a robotic Q&A conversation. They're just eventually not going to respond. And always throw rope. Throwing rope is giving them opportunities to respond. It's not just talking at them, basically. All right. Awesome bonus tip here that has been working amazingly lately for me and for a lot of our clients. The college angle. Colin, so this is one of our clients, and Colin is not me. This is a prospect. Colin, fellow Loyola alum in real estate here. Would be great to connect. Go Lions, they say. And then this is us. I was at Loyola University, Maryland, so technically a Greyhound, but don't hold it against me, though. They say, all good. Jesuit schools teach service before self, right? So we're building this conversation, and then we're going to start turning it into business. Running Mid-Atlantic region for PRMI. That's about 8 states and roughly 190 employees. I feel like I'm living that day to day. So the goal of the first message, right, is to get a response. If we don't have a response, there is no conversation, there's no lead, there's no sales call, there's no client. So the college angle is a great way to get responses if you went to a college where there's a relatively strong alumni community. Okay, so here's me. I went to Dartmouth College, and it is an extremely strong alumni community. So I sent an in-mail. This is an in-mail to a lead. Outbound, dead or just done wrong. Growth problems are diagnostic failures. Go Big Green from a fellow alum, 21 is my graduation year. So there's a long message there, but I'm not going to show the whole thing. But this is the response. Colin, I don't usually reply to in-mails, but I am now due to the Big Green connection. Since that episode last fall, blah, 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 right? So I had a longer message here mentioning some other stuff, business and personal. Seems like we're moving into similar directions with potentially complementary services. I'd be happy to learn more about what you do and share my story as well. He dropped his Calendly link. So potentially a lead, potentially a strategic partner where we share business, but the opener happened, the conversation happened because of the college message, right? So that's a great way to a bonus tip. So we have so much experience doing this. If you want it done for you and you don't want to do it yourself, it is time consuming. It does take a lot of experience to build all these skills. This is what we do, and we do it especially for CPAs, fractional CFOs, accounting firm owners, driving 10 to 15 clients and tons of sales calls every single month with these strategies. So if you want us to run this for you, book a discovery call. I'll drop a link in the description below. Also, website is founderbrands.io, and we'll run it for you. We'll explode your business. LinkedIn is a huge opportunity. Do not sleep on it.